Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net with your look ahead video updated on Wednesday, the 14th of December. Thanks again for watching. Now, the Christmas period's still causing us problems, as you'll see in the 2-week planner. Starting to get some sort of steer from the models at the moment, but they're trying to do various different things. Let me just show you the ECMWF. These go forward in 24-hour steps. This is the analysis for last night, and what to notice on here are the ridges that keep on building through as this sequence progresses. So as we just knock through, remember this is available to you as a premium member. Just go to the Pro Model section of the site. And you notice here by Saturday, our first ridge has collapsed out here towards the west. We've got another one developing here from warm air being pumped northwards off the trough, off the eastern seaboard of the States. There that ridge then builds through Sunday. This is where we think we're going to get some cooler weather coming in from Sunday running into Monday. I've been telling you about the anticyclonic descent that we're expecting to take place. And what it does, it traps cooler air at the surface. Now, that's not cold, it's just cooler air that comes in. But notice how that collapses away. Look, the ridge itself becomes elongated as the jet just strengthens here. It just fires its way through between the UK and Iceland. Gets us on the warm side of the jet, but with the ridge still across southern and eastern parts of the UK, probably feeling fairly cool into that early part of the week. Now, into the middle part of the week, look what happens next. The jet eventually manages to get its way southwards through the UK by next Wednesday. So this is the 21st, and the jet is screaming through here at that time. That would suggest more unsettled conditions, a higher risk of more rain than we've seen for some time. Also some milder conditions coming through as well. Now by the end of the week, trying to get a mini ridge built in again during Thursday, but then it just doesn't last because the mechanisms for building those ridges have shifted. A trough has come further eastwards here now, and it just means that warm air can't get northwards here because it's coming up against that trough all the time. So the jet screams eastwards, and it's through the UK on the 23rd. Now this is ECMWF, remember, and this is suggesting more unsettled weather going eastwards through the UK. And for Christmas Eve, it then slips the jet southwards. That then puts us onto the colder side of the jet stream. It brings in showers, some of them wintry, particularly over the hills of Scotland, Northern England and Northern Ireland, puts us all into cooler air, and that would give us daytime temperatures somewhere between 3 and 6 degrees. And then running into Christmas Day, it likes the idea of the ridge building further west here. Sorry, I thought I got Christmas Day loaded there, but the ridge building further west, so we're getting this sort of pattern taking place, so more of a cooler northwesterly flow. Now that's just the ECMWF, but I have to say we quite like the look of that now, and ECMWF has proved itself more accurate in recent days. So we do quite like the look of where that's trying to go. Just out of interest, that's the operational. This is the ensemble for Christmas Eve. It has the jet further north up here, doesn't have it as far south, still keeps us in a cooler flow, but it has temperatures somewhere between about 5 and 8 degrees. Now, the ensemble's doing this. These go forward in quicker steps. There's our ridge collapsing off towards the east during the course of tomorrow and into Friday. There's our trough getting stuck out towards the west, which is what's causing outbreaks of rain across western areas through the back end of this week. Here's our ridge look out towards the east. It's that tries to bring the cooler weather over eastern and southern parts of the UK. Incidentally, look at this feature down here off southern Iberia. That's bringing heavy rain again to much of Spain and into Portugal as well. Now, into next week, pre-Christmas week, there's the ridge building through again, and as the ECMWF, it wants to just make it collapse away off towards the east and the south. But notice what happens. By the middle stages of the week, it wants to maintain the trough out here. Keeps the jet across the UK, very much like the ensemble was doing. And as I just run through, you'll notice that trough really doesn't move very far as we get through the back end of the week and into Christmas Eve as well as into Christmas Day. So it wants to go with a southwesterly flow. It wants to have a ridge built out here with high pressure out here. It wants lower pressure in here, rain across Northern and Western Ireland, dry weather across southern and eastern parts of the UK. If that came true, we'd be looking at temperatures Across the north, probably around 7s. Across southern parts of the UK, 11s and 12s. So the GFS ensemble goes with a much, much colder theme. Incidentally, beyond that, it wants to leave the idea of the ridge off towards the Easter Trough across and to the west of the UK through the back end of Christmas week. Really doesn't want to see much change. However, my reason for not having as high confidence in this is that this pattern, let's just get back to Christmas Eve, this pattern into Christmas Day, well, that's kind of your mean flow pattern. And I think that's a signal that the ensemble is struggling with trying to resolve what's going on. So at the moment, we're going to favour where ECMWF takes us. CFS at the moment, as of today, week 1, goes with the idea higher than average heights towards the west. There's our trough off towards the east. All that looks perfectly believable. Week 2, 21st of December to the 27th of December, higher than average heights off towards the east. It tries to get the ridge a little bit further westward, so it gets it into Western Ireland, southwestern parts of Scotland. But it goes with the idea of a south to southeasterly flow effect in the UK during the course of a Christmas period, but it keeps it on the milder side further west, cooler further east. And then leading into the new year, back end of Christmas, it wants to bring us into more of an east-southeasterly flow. That ties in with where the ECMWF 46 was trying to take us. And then for the beginning of January, goes with the idea of the higher than average heights towards the north, an easterly flow and cooler conditions. So it ties in quite nicely with the 46, the EC 46. Let me just get that to the right size for you. And this is what it does with temperatures over the next 45 days. Look, brings them down into Christmas. This is where we're headed now. Lifts them just for early January, then brings them down again as that easterly sets in. So CFS does see some cool in there in a similar fashion to ECMWF 46. So we're still keeping this cool as the theme as to where things want to try and go. The difficulty is pinning down the detail again in deciding the timescales for it. But for now, I think we're going to stick with the ECMWF ideas. Okay, I will leave you with that for now. But thanks again for watching. Keep the sun shining and bye for now.